You can hate it, you can deny it, right? You can just flat out refuse to believe it. But the facts are the facts, right? They have put on the performance of the year inside that boxing ring, and Team Crawford deserves to be trainer of the year. Let's talk about it. Welcome to Tough Glove Boxing. I am locked in, and let's get ready to talk about it. Yeah, so listen, it's irrefutable. It's irrefutable. After the performance that Keyshawn Davis has been putting on, after the performance that Terence Crawford put on in his last fight against Errol Spence Jr., out coaching Derrick James, not even close. Team Crawford should definitely win Trainer of the Year. Now, I understand that they usually give this award to one trainer, so they can either put 3 names on one plaque and they can hang that plaque up in their boxing gym, or they make 3 different plaques. Really 4, because you got to add Jamie Belt. A lot of people don't know Jamie Belt is the strength and conditioning coach. But the facts are the facts, okay? These Team Crawford has been disrespected, discredited, and they operate like a well-oiled machine. Just because Bomac is not the only trainer, he's not the first trainer to have assistant trainers. And a lot of times the assistant trainers don't get the credit that they deserve because everybody's so focused on the main trainer. But see, when you're dealing with Team Crawford, they're like a family. They're like a unit. They understand that they are a machine and they're a well-oiled machine. Now, yes, Bomac is the head trainer, but each component of that machine, right, helps it run at a maximum efficiency. And the result is what you saw during the Terence Crawford Errol Spence fight. So let's get into a little bit about the trainers, right? Now, first of all, let's talk about, I saw an interview with Terence Crawford. They were asking him about his relationship with Warren Buffett. Now, we all know Warren Buffett is one of the richest men in the world. He specializes and is addicted to making money. I don't think the man could not make money if he wanted to. That's how much money he makes on a regular basis. He has the financial system figured out, right? And where he said no to Floyd Mayweather, he definitely says yes to Terence Bud Crawford. He sat down and had conversations with Terence Bud Crawford, something that he usually charges upwards of $500,000 to $1 million for like a lunch or something just to get his financial insight. He gave that to Terence Bud Crawford because they're from the same place. They're from Nebraska, Omaha. A lot of people don't know that. I like Warren Buffett because he's one of these billionaires that don't need you to know he's a billionaire. You can tell by his lifestyle. Even when he goes to the fights, watching his favorite fighter, you never see him in ringside. He's somewhere in the middle with the rest of the crowd, just blending into the normal people. And I kind of like it when you have that abundance of something, but you're just still so humble, especially humble enough to take a fighter like Terence Crawford, give him some financial advice, right? And just believe in him. And I will tell you that when Warren Buffett says something is good money, which is one way he used to describe Bud, I think you should listen, right? Now, aside from that, right, the one thing that he said was one of the most important things that Warren Buffett taught him was that you have to have, right, get you a reliable team. A strong team is the key to success. And this is very true. Back when I was younger, right, in my teens and my 20s, I used to do spoken word poetry because that's, the thing I was into, but I also rapped, okay? And I was part of a crew. We all rapped. We were entertainers. We had producers and everything like that, right? But the problem was, instead of us getting behind one person, everybody wanted to be the star, right? The right thing to do was get behind the person that's most talented, get him in the door, right? Let him blow the crew up and then start pulling members up with him. A lot of people, they don't do that. Everybody wants to be the star. Nobody knows how to play their position. Everybody can't be the face of the unit, right? Terence Crawford and Bomac are the face of Team Crawford, but they make no mistake about it that they give everybody involved their just due. Okay, so let's talk about the trainers. Of course, everybody knows Bomac, right? AKA the Big Mick, I like to call him. But Bomac is the captain of the ship. He makes sure everything runs like a military unit. when it's during training camp. There's no games to be played. Everything is serious. We could do all that partying and entertainment and playing around after camp. But while we in camp, everything has to run like a well-oiled machine because they got to prepare their boy as best as possible. And they've done that consistently since 2014 when he went pro. Okay, then you have, and I do apologize, Tuto. His nickname is Tuto. Thank God, that's easier to remember. But we talking about Esau Diaquez is what I think his name is. Okay, but he's in charge of daily workouts, right? And he's a man of God. He's very close to Bud. We're gonna read a little bit about him to give you guys an idea of who the trainers are besides just seeing their picture, right? Because you never really know how they met Bud, what they're about, and everything like that. Then everybody knows Red Spikes, right? A lot of people don't know Tuto used to be a boxer. I think he has like 1 win and 6 losses. He got stopped like 5 times, but he's been part of Team Crawford since Crawford was young, right? And so far his role in there has been working for him, right? Just because he wasn't the best boxer in the world, sometimes you're not going to be the best boxer in the world, but that don't mean you can't be one of the greatest trainers. Maybe his craft wasn't inside the ring; it was just on the side of the ring. And then we got Red Spikes. I don't recall hearing anything about Red Spikes being a professional boxer, right? I know Bomac was a professional boxer, Tuto was a professional boxer at one time, but Red Spikes, I think he got his he was knocking MFs out in the street. Red Spikes was that dude, right? So we don't know what his record in the streets is. But all I say that is to say this, man. The people responsible for the guy you see stopping everybody, flawless, effort. I mean, they really work hard, right? And they treat Bud like he is who he is, right? They don't let him slack. They motivate him, right? They keep him in tune with God. They keep him clean. They keep him focused, right? And at this point, really, at the age of going on 36, they've been doing this together so long that it's really almost like second nature, the way they gel together, right? But let's look at a couple things, right? We're gonna put this right here for a second, right? And let's take a look at this. So this is about Tuto, right? This is Terence Crawford talking about Tuto, who I'll put up next to it so you can see who he is, right? He says, Terence Crawford said, I was just a kid when we sparred, Crawford said. I remember he would hit me hard. I was a bit bigger than him, but he had all the experience, right? He had all this experience because, Tuto is short. In the run-up to the Spence fight, McIntyre and Crawford have worked on the fight plan while Dieguez Tuto has been in charge of the daily workouts. Crawford has also relied on Tuto, I'm going to say that so I don't keep butchering his last name, insights outside of the ring. He has called Tuto a man of God who has helped him deal with his newfound riches. So, these are more than just people that train him to fight, right? He has more than just a fighter-trainer's relationship. These people are life partners, if you will, right? They are going to be there for Terence Crawford until the day he passes. Everything that Terence Crawford goes through, they go through with him. Every loss he takes in life, they take it with him. Every win that he celebrates in life, they celebrate with him as they should, right? And Tuto says, I come from a very small town and never thought I'd get this far, but God has been very good to me and has blessed me, right? So let's go here and learn a little bit more, right? It says Crawford has 3 coaches who are very unknown in the wider boxing world. Bomac, McIntyre, and 2 assistant coaches in Tuto, Dieguez, and Red Spikes. Terence and McIntyre have known each other since the day Bud entered the CW Boxing Club in their hometown. Now, we all heard that story, right? So let's take a look into some of the roles that they have. You can see here it says Brian McIntyre, co-manager, and head trainer. So he does more than trains. He also manages Bud's career, or at least is one of the people who I guess protects Bud from getting taken advantage of. It says he oversees and coordinates the overall training program. He's like the military sergeant when it's time for a training camp. He provides strategic guidance and the game plans for each fight, works closely with the other trainers to ensure cohesive training sessions, and then he mentors and motivates Crawford, helping him maintain focus and mental toughness. Now, Tuto and Red Spikes are the assistant trainers. They assist Crawford during training sessions, provide technical guidance and feedback, works on specific boxing techniques, footwork, and defensive maneuvers. Supports Crawford's mental and emotional well-being by fostering a positive and supportive training environment, contributes to the overall team dynamic, and helps maintain a family-like atmosphere within the team, which is very important. When you're working along somebody that you feel loves you, from the heart, from the soul, right? They have a genuine love for you. They don't just see you as a business aspect, right? They don't just see you as a client, so to speak. You build up a stronger connection with them, right? And it's easier to trust them when you're in the ring, which is why Terence Crawford actually, by winning this fight, elevated his training coaches. And how did he do that? Because if you listen to the corner, they will give him specific instructions on what to do. He would then get up and follow each instruction to a T and yield results. Right? And then we have Jamie Belt. Now, a lot of people don't know who Jamie Belt is, right? A lot of people don't know him. He's usually always behind the scenes, but he is very important to the team. And if you want to know why Terence Crawford is so strong, why he looks so quick, agile, right? You can give Jamie Belt a lot of the credit for that because he's in charge of strength and conditioning. He designs and implements strength and conditioning workouts, right? Focuses on improving Crawford's physical attributes such as strength, speed, and endurance, emphasizes injury prevention through efficient training techniques, collaborates with other trainers to integrate strength and conditioning exercise into the overall training program, right? So there's a whole routine, right? When it's time for them to train, when they're in training camp, let's go over what Bomac has to oversee. The morning, team meeting. Coaches discuss strategies, goals for the day. Strength and conditioning focused on specific areas such as footwork, hand speed, and coordination. All team members participate in the workout with individual variations, okay? Adaptive drills, tailored exercises to address specific weaknesses or areas of improvement. And that's why I got on Derrick James a lot, because he's been with Every Spence too long for Every Spence to be making the same mistakes for so long. Then there's a morning run or swim. All right. And that's just in the morning. Now, in the afternoon, you have the technical training, focus on boxing techniques, defensive and offensive drills. You have sparring, adapted to mimic different opponents and simulate fight scenarios. Switch stance training, practicing techniques from both orthodox and southpaw stances. Strategy and tactics discussion, analyzing potential opponents and adjusting game plans. That is in the afternoon. In the evening, for training camp, you got cross-training, swimming, cycling, or other cardio activities to enhance endurance. You got recovery sessions, stretching, massage, and other techniques for muscle recovery. Mental conditioning, visualization exercises, which I do in the form of meditation, or sports psychology. Rest and regeneration, adequate sleep and relaxation to support optimal recovery. Okay, so when you young and you rich, it's really hard to go to bed at 9 o'clock. When Bomac says, "Yo, 9 o'clock, lights out," I've seen on I don't know if it was All Access or whatever little thing they had. I think Top Rank had it, where Bud is, he's in his training camp, and at the end you see him walking up the stairs two at a time to go to bed at like 9 o'clock, where everybody else is still up doing what they have to do. You have to be very disciplined and understand. Bud knows he's gonna have all his fun after his career is over, right? He really treats this with the seriousness and the focus that he is supposed to, and that's why he's as great as he is. Okay, so there you have the whole routine. Right, in Colorado, this is what they get down to doing. All right, so shout out to Team Crawford. Right, shout out to Team Crawford. They're responsible for why your boy always looks like this. And I feel, I think it's irrefutable, right, that they should get Trainer of the Year, without a doubt. Now, some good news while I was making this video, or just before I started making this video, came to my attention, and that was this right here. This is actually great news.
Well, just last quick update on Terence. How's things going with him? He had his parade in Colorado. How was that?
Everything's going good. He just texted me. He just texted me yesterday and said that Spence Spence activated his rematch. Is that Paulie Maldonado?
So
Police here, yeah.
y'all heard it.
Oh, yeah, he just activated his
That's confirmed.
Huh?
That's confirmed.
match confirmed, but we don't have a date and stuff. Okay, yeah.
All right, so now y'all heard it. Errol Spence Jr. My hat's off to you, soldier. I've always been an Errol Spence fan. I just didn't like the respect that Terence Crawford was getting, and I knew that Terence Crawford was the better fighter. But like I said, right after the fight, I'm glad the fight was over, because now I can go back to being an Errol Spence fan, because there's really no type of trolling that an Errol sexual or guppy can do that can throw me off my square, because we've already seen the evidence of who Terence Crawford is and who his team is. You understand what I'm saying? If you look at how Bomac's fighters have looked this year, and then you look at how Derrick James fighters have looked this year, it is clear that Team Crawford deserves the Trainer of the Year award, and it's long overdue. It's long overdue. You understand? Now we got Bud talking about going up to 168 to fight the winner of Jamel Charlo versus Canelo. So by Jamel Charlo going up, he didn't even escape the smoke. That's the type of mindset that Bud has. Because I was wondering, right? Check this out, guys. Y'all might laugh at this, but I was like, okay, you know, part of Bud's edge is that people doubt him, right? Which is why I think he went to Canelo. I think that's the fuel to his fire. You tell Bud he can't do something, get ready for him to do exactly what you told him that he can't do. You understand what I'm saying? Because that is his fuel, is proving people who doubt him wrong. And I was wondering, now that Bud seems to be getting the credit he deserves, right? The accolades that he deserves, the attention that he deserves, the praises and the flowers that he deserves, does he still have that edge? Do we have that Terence Crawford, right? Is this the Terence Crawford that we have? Let me see. Remember? See, that's the Terence Crawford that we know. That's the Terence Crawford that we know and love, right? Always angry. Now, all I want to know is what everybody giving him is credit, right? Does he still have that edge, or is he now like this? Right? I thought that was pretty funny and a good analogy, because, you know, sometimes when you feel like you've reached the pinnacle, right? You get comfortable, you get lax. It's like, okay, well, I'm so far above Errol Spence's level, I ain't even got to worry about him on a rematch. I think that Errol Spence is probably going to come back the most dangerous that he's ever been. I think that he really needs to get back and have a better showing of himself, because his career depends on him coming out of the next fight looking a lot better. Now, a lot of people say, and I've said it myself, that, you know, all Terence Crawford going to do is stop him sooner. But I don't think, I always said, and y'all can see after the fight, when I did my videos, Errol Spence is going to look much better. I don't think he beats Terence Crawford even at 154, because I don't think weight or size is the issue here. I don't think strength was even the issue in this situation. I just think that it was mainly the flaws that Errol Spence has had all of these years that haven't been fixed. And you just heard me read to you that whatever weakness they see in Bud, they worked on that. They study their opponent, dissect their opponent, and adjust the game plan for that. I used to be a fan of G.I. Joe when I was little, and one of his favorite sayings was, if you know, knowing is half the battle. That's half the battle right there. The other half is preparation. So like Bud Crawford said, he wins his fights in the gym. And I think that Errol Spence needed to take this ass whipping to fuel his fire, to make him put him back into the mind frame of what he lost. I think the best Errol Spence that we have ever seen, right, was the one that fought against Kell Brook. Right? Did he get hit? Yeah, Kell Brook was whooping on him. He did. But at the same time, he overcame that, right? And he was more ferocious, right? He was more like just mentally present in the moment and understood the assignment, right? And that's the Errol Spence that I want to see go up against Terence Crawford. Because like I said, Terence Crawford can do some magnificent things that we don't know he can do. A lot of people didn't know he had that power jab because you don't never see it in no other fight. He didn't really utilize it, but probably because he did not have to. But going in for Spence, knowing that Spence's jab is what sets up everything, and Spence has one of the best jabs in the welterweight division, he had to beat Spence in the jab game. And once he did that, it was all downhill for Spence. And not to mention the terrible coaching that he got from Derrick James. Even if he went out there and did exactly what Derrick James said, I remember Derrick James said, forget about moving your head, move your feet. The problem with that to me is when you look at Errol Spence's fight, he's not a fast-footed type of fighter. Even when he boxed Mikey Garcia, he was coming forward the majority of the time. He wasn't going off of angles, and he was backing up and doing his defense the same way he always do, but it had holes that Mikey just couldn't exploit that Terence Crawford was able to exploit. So first of all, shout out to Spence for being a dog and not laying down like everybody said. I believe he called them getting chased from school, getting chased home from school, in words, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't want to get demonetized, so I'm not going to say what he said, but y'all get what I'm saying, right? Shout out to Errol Spence for being a dog, being a real man, and saying, listen, I need that get back, and I do believe it's going to be a better fight. Now, somebody was like, well, what if Errol Spence wins? Well, I don't think he will. But if for some way and somehow he finds a way, then that just means we got another classic trilogy on the horizon. You understand what I'm saying? And that's going to be Bud's 3-fight deal right there. And after that, he can go off into the horizon, or he can continue to add the cherry on top and fight Jermell Charlo or Canelo Alvarez, right? So I want y'all to get in the comment section. Let me know, are you happy that the rematch is happening? Are you going to support the rematch, right? Because I feel like a lot of Spence fans, I'll pay to see Bud whoop on somebody all day, right? But I feel like a lot of Errol Spence fans may not want to support the fight. But I would say give your man his chance to get his re-up, to get his get back, right? Give him a chance to do that. He's earned that, right? He's provided you guys with 5 years of being able to talk smack, right? The least you can do is have faith and ride with him all the way through, okay? Anyway, I want to take the time to thank you guys for checking out the content. I'm not going to make a long video. I know I did a long breakdown of Jermell Charlo and Canelo Alvarez. It was about an hour. Those videos never really do that great, but it's in case you just home and you got nothing to do, you want to light up or something like that, have a couple drinks and just look at some good boxing talk, take a look at it. But in the meantime, get in the comment section. Let me know how you feel about the rematch. How do you think the rematch is going to turn out? I think Bud is going to win. Do you think Spence is going to look better? Okay. And do you think Team Crawford should win Trainer of the Year? And before I go, guys, I'm going to ask you to hit that like button. If you want to go the extra mile and support the channel, just watch some commercials, hit the Cash App. But we're going to take time to give a shout out to Tough Glove Boxing's first sponsors. We'll be right back. Okay, so yeah, Tough Glove Boxing got our first sponsor, and I'm actually happy to do this one because it's one of my favorite places in Texas to go when I'm going to get my relax on and the stuff that I need. I don't have a lot of vices, I would say, right? But one of them is I love a good hookah, especially the CBD hookah because it's healthier. They got all kinds of CBD products. They got Crenton, vapes, hookah, e-cigs, e-juices, disposables, pipes, water pipes, glass pipes, scales, grinders, air fresheners, tobacco, vaporizers. They have some of the best shisha flavors. They carry all type of Delta 8, Delta 9 products, you understand? And it's like a one-stop hours of operation on Monday through Thursdays, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m., Friday through Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Sunday, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. You spend over $25, you get a free gummy, keychains, or whatever giveaway they're giving you for that day. So I definitely say check it out. The address, let me give you that right now. The address is 5715 Reading Road in Rosenberg, Texas, 77471. Get down there. Let them know that Tough Glove Boxing sent you. I guarantee you, you will not be disappointed. Thank you.